Greetings there, ladies and gentlemen. Hardi-Jay here, once again, with the end of the year video. And this is going to be a little different. It's not going to be, well, it is going to be the best of type of things, but it's also kind of going to give a review of what I've been playing throughout the year. And some, statistics and something I'll probably put along here. But if you're not into that and you want to get to the game of the year, I'll probably put a timestamp down below. So just go to below and be like, games of the year. Here, go there. That's my game of the year. Until then, I'm going to give a brief summary to games I've played throughout the year. So starting with the beginning of the year, I have, throughout the year, I've played 53 games. I've started them, 53 games. But I have only finished 30 of those. Kind of. I would say 29.5 because I'm currently going through multiple endings on one, and that's the current one I'm doing, which I'll get to later. But I'm going to go through the games I've finished, and not necessarily the ones I've played. Because the thing is, if you finish the game, you kind of have a good more of a opinion on beating the game than just playing it for a couple hours and being like, that'd be a first impression, which, I'll do a first impression of it. But if I want to have a more complete thought of the actual game I played, I'll go with the ones I complete, or finished, or both. Okay, let's start with the first one. Fortunately, it is going to be on a Steam edition. I did this, but it is on PS4, and I believe Xbox also, and that is Control. And this one is actually one that I took from last year and brought it into this year, because I started last year and I brought it into this year. And I finished the main game, but also the DLC. My thoughts on it are decent third-person shooting action game. The gameplay is good. The premise is good, but the only thing that kind of bugs me is that there's a lot of reading to do. And I kind of just wanted to beat it. But there is a lot of lore in the game if you do want to get into the lore. So that's good. I will come back to it once, some time has passed. Get into the game a little bit more. But as just a game of a, pew-pew shoot game with telekinetic powers where you can float and do all sorts of weird things. Decent game, I have to say. Good. Again, it's on Steam. PS4 I know, and Xbox I believe, and anything else I'm not aware of. But yeah, there you go. Secondly is Trials of Mana, the remake actually, that came out in 2020. I believe I got this last year, but I hadn't played it. I didn't play Second Zetsu 3 in too much capacity, so going into this was pretty blind, and it was pretty good actually. Pretty good. Decent remake. A lot better, and it's really hard to find saying that, from the remake of Secret of Mana that came out on the PS4. A lot better. Full 3D remake, and that's a great thing. Beat it once, but there is multiple paths and characters you can choose from. Music's good. Story, again, I have to probably go with different characters to get more of the full story, but the one I took was well enough. And yeah, it's good. It's a good package, and this is the way I think a remake probably should be a little bit more. Like, there could be a little bit more improvements here and there, but it's definitely a good start for a remake that possibly could be slightly better if you put it in the oven for a little bit longer, let's just say. But overall, decent remake, I have to say. It's very good. So next on the docket is another game that I've played last year but finished this year, and that is Code Vein, which I can sum up as anime Dark Souls. Now, personally, I have to say I'm not a fan of the Dark Souls series. I haven't played too much of it, but from what I've played from the original Dark Souls, I might have a little bit of difficulty to get into it, but this, I like anime. It was good. The controls took me a lot of time to get into this one, but I like the character customization and the atmosphere, the world. Again, I talk about world a lot, and the atmosphere and story. The story really kind of puts you through a different thing, like right at the beginning. You're like, what is going on exactly? And that kind of took me right into it. But overall, music was good, and there's a lot of loops in there but yes, it is balls to the wall hard because it is a Dark Souls game. But it's also, what I found out, a online, so you can bring a buddy with you and share the pain with you. That's what I love. I haven't done that yet, which I'd love to do, but it's a great game. I would say it's a good recommend. If you're into Dark Souls, definitely, but if you're not into Dark Souls, it's going to take a little time to get used to the controls and the difficulty in it. But overall, pretty decent game. Okay, warning for this one. If you are sensitive to sexual matter, you might want to skip ahead roughly a few minutes, probably. So the next one is a game I thought I would never see a sequel to, but I'm actually kind of glad that there's a sequel for it. And that is a Huniepop 2. Unfortunately, it's only digitally only. So I'll just put a something here. I don't know if I put the title screen because it is a little racy. And let's just say the game delivers. If you're a fan of the first one, you'll definitely like the second one. But the thing is, it is a ridiculous game, but oh my god, it is very well put together. It's a combination of a visual novel and a match 3 game and a dating sim. Kind of. Let's just say. Just add racy humor, a lot of sexual stuff, lots and lots of sexual stuff. That's Huniepop in general. The first one is, I have to say, slightly better than the second one, but that's my personal opinion. Both of them are just good, dumb fun. And that's great. I love it. That's the thing. It's wonderful. That's all I can say about it. Like, it's a game I never thought I would see a sequel to, but I'm really glad there's a sequel to it. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about it, but it is a good one if you're into that stuff. After that last one, I don't know if I can follow up with this, because this is like just two different things. Next one is something I wanted to play for a while, and I played it on the Wii. And if you want to hear my a little bit more thoughts on it, there is a ending reaction to this. It's my first one over on the corner there. Check it out. That is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. This game, I've heard so much about it, and I never let the hype actually kind of outweigh it. Because I played on the Wii. I didn't really like it on the Wii. But the thing is, I'm really glad I came back and played it, because the story is bloody amazing. The music is superb. Everything about this game, the story is amazing in this. Like, absolutely great. Like, I go on about story. Definitely good. The only thing I don't like is the battle system. The battle system, and I get into it a little bit more in my ending reaction, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And if they had a different, like if they had a traditional turn-based or a semi-action turn-based system, like a Star Ocean or Tales, like if they did like a Tales of system in this game or something, this would be just like, would be that. Literally that. That would be the game taking off the orbit, because it's just so bloody good. But the system really brings it down for me, because I do not like the system. It's just terrible. And I'm not going, I just don't like it. But everything else about it is amazing. It's amazing. And yeah, that's basically all I need to say. Great game if you like RPGs. And again, it's only on Switch. So, and if you want to get like the previous versions, it's on Wii also, and 3DS. So, other than that, this one's probably the best one to get. So, and more available than the other ones. So, get that one. The next one, is Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury. Well, this is a good game on the Wii U, and it's also pretty good on here. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about this, Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is a definitely different version. It's not Mario Odyssey. It's not like 3D World. It's kind of a blend of both, plus open world-ish. I'm going to put a big ish on there because it's open world, but it's still within a world. It's good. Like, this game itself would be good just like that. This game itself would, I think it wouldn't be good at full price, but if it was 30, maybe even $40 by itself, I would even say it's worth it, because it is a great, and it's short. It's not like hours long going through tons and tons and tons of stuff. It's short and to the point, and it's fun. That's what it is. It's fun. That's what a game should be. I really want to see more of Bowser Fury, like, content in anything. Like, it's basically already kind of in Zelda, because they have Breath of the Wild. But, you know, a Donkey Kong game would be good. Another Mario game would be great. Hell, anything, like, just throw a new IP, like, with this type of system in it, would be good, and I would check it out, definitely. So, this game, only on Switch, because it's Mario, and Nintendo's stifler with their content. So, yeah, cool. Check it out. Even just for this. So, on the next on the docket is another ending reaction that I did. It's the second one. And that is Sakuna of Rise and Ruin. I played it on the PS4. You can also play it on the Switch, which is this version. This is actually sealed. I just got it a couple days ago. I don't know how the Switch version runs, but the PS4 version runs absolutely great, and it's also on Steam. What can I say? It is I would say light Metroidvania game. It's not like really in-depth, like going through caves and caverns and all that, trying to find upgrades. It's more of just kind of going through stages, but they're more elaborate type of thing. But the big thing about this is that it is a farming simulator also, well, with rice. From what I read about it, it is very, very, very accurate how to do actual rice. Like, it is cute as hell, but there is a lot of great charm in this game. And it's very, like, there's a lot of people who just kind of, like, haven't played this, or... It really interested me when I first saw it, and I kind of forgot about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should check that out. Screw it, I'm gonna play it. And I'm really glad I did, because I really enjoyed it. Definitely a good one to play. I can probably sum it up, and this is gonna sound kind of weird. It reminds me a little bit of a style of ActRaiser, where you go through action stages, and then you go with the sim element of it, which is the farming simulator, where you're in your farm place and you do farming, and you have to look after that area, and then you go out and you fight monsters in action stages. So it reminds me definitely of, like, kind of an ActRaiser type feel. If you like that type of game, that feels a little bit like that. Like, it's very loose. Like, that genre is very loose, that I would say that, but it's good. It's definitely good. Possibly a hidden gem, actually. I would say very much a hidden gem to check it out. Very good. Very good. Voice acting is amazing. And the characters are they're lovable. Oh my god, they're lovable. So lovable. Check it out if you have. Definitely a good one. Also have an ending reaction for it up in the corner. I already mentioned that, but I'll mention it again. So the next one is A Plague's Tale: Innocence. Again, a game that I saw and I'm like, that looks interesting. I definitely want to play it. I picked it up and I'm like, I'll get to it. Did get to it. Really, really good. It's a stealth game. Through and through, a stealth game. It's not actiony. Well, it is actiony at points, but through and through, it is a stealth game. If anything, it reminds me of, like, stealth-wise, it reminds me of Beyond Good and Evil. If any. Actually, the whole game, gameplay-wise, reminds me of Beyond Good and Evil, but a little bit more polished, let's just say. A little bit more polished. And that's gameplay-wise. Like, the game itself takes place in Crusader times, so, yeah. So, definitely not the same type of thing. But the story, great. There are parts that are frustrating, let's just say very frustrating at times. But it looks like visually astounding. You just want to like look at the scenery sometimes. And just recently, I played on the PS4, but I recently just played it on the PS5, and if I do any footage, it's probably going to be the PS5 version. It looks even better. My god. Free upgrade to PS5. If you have the PS4 version, free upgrade, PS5. Delicious. Delicious graphics. Oh my god, delicious. Atmospheric, very atmospheric. The only thing is that the main, I guess, antagonist-ish enemy in this is the rats, which they probably could have done a little bit better with, but seeing that there's mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds of rats, probably look a little bit polygony. Like, they look a little low texture. But nevertheless, overall, story great. The characters are great. Amelia was, like, great. Main character, her brother Hugo, is a annoying brat, and he pulled it off absolutely great. You don't really know kind of what the villain is. It's more of just, like, this ominous threat of the Crusaders, and rats. And you really don't know what they're... And again, if I mention anything else, it's going to be spoilers. And if you want to see the ending reaction, right up here. Check it out. Great game if you like stealth-based combat and stunning graphics. And very atmospheric period pieces. It's also on PS4, PS5. I think it's on Xbox also, and it is on Steam. So next on the docket is Ys 9 alternative cover. This is the alternative cover, which I love what some of these games do, because they have the main cover. They also have an alternative cover, which is sometimes the Japanese cover and sometimes not. But I do like the Ys alternative cover, and that's why it's there. And then you see Apris in her... This is like literally the game starting screen right here. Title screen. So Ys 9. Action RPG with killer music. The graphics are a little you know, they look... Actually, I think they're a little bit better, but a little bit worse in some areas from 8. And 8 is still way better than, I think, 9. 9 has a good story, but it takes place very much in one location, confined in it, like a city, and then you just go out of the city a little bit, and then, but it's mainly in the city, but it tells a different story than, you know, the typical Ys one where you go on adventuring. It's a mystery, and that's great. It's a great different pull of the story. Other than that, there is an ending reaction for this. I have an ending reaction up in the corner there. You can check it out. I can sum up this game in a couple words. One, it is a action-adventure game that reminds me of a Super Sentai or Power Ranger type formula. Because you have a team of transforming superheroes type of thing, where the people fear them, but we're out saving them unknowingly. Like they hate us, but we're still sticking up for the people. And they transform. They're normal people, but they also transform into these things called monstrums, and that's why it's called Monstrum Nox. And so it is essentially a Super Sentai action-adventure game, but takes place in the Ys universe. That's all I can probably say about that. And that's very much, yeah, it's a decent game. If you're going to play a modern Ys game, I recommend 8 over 9. 9 is still a good one to go with. So I'd recommend it, but 8 first. Play 8 first, and then play 9. It's on PS4 and Steam. And I think it's on Switch also, but I don't know how well that runs. But I think it's on Switch, PS4. I don't think it's on Xbox, but it's definitely on PS4, and it's definitely on Switch, and it's definitely on Steam. So go check it out there. So the next one is a Steam one, but it's also on different formats. I believe it's on Switch also, and definitely I think it's on PS4, and I believe it's on Xbox too. I'm not sure on that one, but it's definitely on Switch, and I think it's on PS4, but it's definitely on Steam. That's where I played it, and that is The Messenger. And what can I say about The Messenger other than it is a Metroidvania Ninja Gaiden game? If you like Ninja Gaiden and you like Metroidvanias, definitely up your alley. And definitely if you like ninjas. It has a style of 8-bit, like Ninja Gaiden game from the NES era, but it also is a weird kind of concept because later in the game, and I'm going to do this because it's in promotional stuff, is that you go in between 8-bit and 16-bit type of styles. So you go from, and it's literally portals. You go through the portals, and then everything becomes 16-bit. And then you go through the portal again in like a different area, and you go to 8-bit. And it's a weird mechanic for kind of going into different worlds, like the whole Link to the Past, where you go into the light world, the dark world type thing. This is 2 different worlds of, and it's about time periods in this game, because the 8-bit is, I guess, present time, while the 16-bit is in future. So you go in between the past and the future, but it's also different styles for that. So it's an interesting kind of take on it. So I definitely like that. It is at times a little difficult, I have to say, a little here and there. I have an ending reaction to it right up there if you do want to check it out. It is the last area, which I probably shouldn't have done. I should have probably just did the last enemy, but nevertheless, my ending reaction is up there if you want to check it out. And other than that, I have to say it is a decent game, but it takes a little to get into if you're not used to the style of like the NES Ninja Gaiden games or a Metroidvania type game. So other than that, it takes to get him into, but I would recommend it. Definitely awesome music. Oh my god, the music is like amazing. It's good. It's good. It's good if you like, 8-bit and 16-bit music, which I do. So next on the docket is a sequel to my favorite game of 2017, and that is Persona 5 Strikers. I'm not going to get into too much of this because I'm going to talk about it more. Spoilers. But it's the sequel to Persona 5. The original one. Not the Royal, but the original one. And other than that, it is a Musou game. Warrior style, which you go around killing hundreds and thousands of enemies, basically. One against the entire army type of thing. Story's good. Music's good. Characters are good. But I'm going to get into it more later on. But definitely good. And it's on PS4. It's on Switch. And it's on, I want to say Steam, but I believe it's on GOG. But I'm not. It's on PC somehow. Like, it's on one of those formats. I'm not sure. If it's on Steam, it's on GOG. And if it's not on GOG, it's probably on Epic or Origin. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's on GOG or Steam. One of those. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it later. But great game if you like Persona. Also, I want to point out that I have an ending reaction. If you want to check it out? Check it out there. But I'm also going to remind you later on, so I just want to point out that it's up there. So next on the docket is Dragon Quest XI-S. So this is the enhanced version of Dragon Quest XI. I played the original one. Didn't get too far. I played the Switch version of this version. Didn't get far. I really should just, because there is a part kind of like near the middle of the story where you got to find orbs. And it just kind of really slows the pace down, and I quit both of the times in both the previous times I played it. at that point. But this time, I'm like, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it all the way through. And you want to know something? I'm really glad I did. Because, my God, the second half of this game is great. And the post-game is great. Oh my God, post-game is like amazing. And the thing is that, one, I don't have just one, but two ending reactions to this game up here. One is before post-game, which I thought was the ending, and then there was the true ending, which I have up there. And I do have to say, my personal opinion, one of the best ending reactions I've done to this date, and for one of the games that I really, really should have played sooner, because the game is amazing. It's like one of my favorite Dragon Quests right now. Probably under 4. It is 11. 11 is great. The story is great. The music is great. The characters are great. Like, I absolutely fell in love with all these characters. And even, like, the people who are connected to them. Not just the characters, you know, the main protagonist, but people who are connected to these characters, I absolutely love too. And that's great. It is absolutely great. It is traditional as hell, though. Very much so. Holy cow. Very traditional. Very traditional. It is a turn-based RPG. To the T. But this is the thing, is that Dragon Quest, like, was one of those games that made the turn-based RPG. So they perfected the formula in this, definitely. It is absolutely great. And I can't say so much things like, if you like RPGs, play it. If you are thinking about RPGs, play it. Hell, even if you don't like RPGs, play it, because it is a good game just overall. But holy cow, it will take you some time to do, man. This took me about over 120 hours to beat. And I didn't even do hardly any grinding. Or, you know, I did do 100%. I platinumed this baby. Holy cow, I platinumed it. You don't have to do that. I think you can probably beat this in like 60 to 80 hours probably, but it is going to be a long journey, but it is a well-deserved journey. It is a time to get lost in a story. Bam! Dragon Quest XI. Go for it. So the next one is a game that was delisted on pretty much everything that it was, but I'm really glad they brought it back because holy jeez. It is a great beat-em-up, and that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This is the limited edition from Limited Run, or is it the collector? Sorry, it's the collector's edition from Limited Run. It is sealed. I am planning to open it at some point. I do have a few things from Limited Run that I do want to open up, but this is definitely one. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the game. Is the game good? Yes, it's actually very good. If you like a beat 'em up and you have other people coach co-op to play with, this is the game for you. The comics are great. The movie was very good. And the game is just a bunch of that plus more. And that's absolutely great. It is a time and a half to play. That's the thing. It's great. Like, it's great. It's a great beat 'em up. Like, if you like beat 'em ups, go for it. Or if you just like action, or just kind of like go around, it's better with more people. I do have to say, it is definitely better with more if you have like 2, 3 people to play with. But definitely, it is a time and a half. Definitely good, and I'm really glad they brought it back because it is absolutely wonderfully great. And it's also takes place in Canada. That's where I'm from. You can pick up Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on Switch, definitely. It's on PS4 also, and I believe it's on Xbox, and I think it's on Steam. So next on the docket is Panzer Paladin, and you can get this on Switch. I believe you can get it on Steam also. PS4, I'm pretty sure you can find it all the formats. And if I'm wrong, then it just go. Definitely inspired by 8-bit games. I'm trying to think of a game that's like this, and nothing's coming to mind right now. But it's about you're a little I think a robot, actually. I think you're a robot. Going into a bigger robot. And going through stages. It definitely has a Mega Man feel to it. It's like if Mega Man went into a giant Mega Man and went through stages. It's pretty good. Simple story. Cute thing. Great thing. Mainly, it's only digital. Limited run was actually going physical copies. I picked one up even before I played it because I was very interested in the game itself. And I'm like, it was cheap, so I'm like, yeah, cool, why not go for it? And I'm really glad I did because it's a good time. It has multiple endings. I kind of want to just go back to it. I finished only once. Overall, it's good. I definitely have to go back to it to kind of play it more, but the time I did, it's a decent game. It's a decent one. So next on the docket is probably I'm going to bash all of these into one because I kind of played them all at once, but it's the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered collection, I guess. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out currently. They have 6 coming out in February, which I'm really, really excited about. But we're talking about 1 to 4 on here. I have a Pixel Remastered ending reaction for 4 and 5, which will be up here. And at the timing of this actual video, they're not currently out right now, but I did just upload them and did all this stuff. So the time this video comes out, they will be up there, so check it out. But what can I say about it? So I originally played 4 first because I definitely wanted to play 4 because that's like one of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy 4. And then I played 5, and then I played 1, 2, and 3 in that order. My initial thoughts on the actual Pixel Remastered formula, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh god, another port of these Final Fantasy games? Because there's been so many of them, except this one looked, more in clue with the original aesthetic of it. And I just kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, when 1, 2, and 3 came out, and then 4 came out, and I'm like, it's Final Fantasy 4. I've played mostly all the ports of Final Fantasy 4. I might as well pick it up, give it a go, and I'm really glad I did. Oh my god. It is good, and you can hear my additional thoughts in my ending reactions. I'm not going to get too much into it, but other than that, pretty good. The only thing is that I wish they had a toggleable soundbar for original music and the Pixel Remastered version, because I really want to play this with the original music. All of them. 4 and 5 definitely, but all of them, because that would just be so nostalgic. Oh my god, like it would send me just like back in time. Get the DeLorean, just let me fly away from there. This is so great, man. Solid titles if you just want the bare experience of Final Fantasy 4 or any of the Final Fantasy through 1 through I guess 6, but I haven't played 6 yet, but 5 I guess currently. If you want to play more content to it, then obviously get the enhanced ports of it, like the Final Fantasy 4 Steam version 3D remake, or the GBA versions of 4 and 5 and 6, because they add more stuff to it. But if you just want the bare basic game of these Final Fantasies, pick up the Pixel Remaster. They're pretty good. They're pretty damn good. So next is something everyone's been waiting, including myself, for a long time, let's just say. I'm pretty sure well over almost 20 years, I think, or close to 20 years. And that's Metroid Dread. What can I say about this game? I don't know what I can say about this game other than it is absolutely goddamn amazing. It is. This is the Metroid out of Metroidvania. Like, seriously. It's a great Metroidvania game, I guess. But other than that, there's story. The story is good, and it takes place after Fusion, and it really does just kind of like there's a little continuity issues here and there, but nevertheless, it takes place after Fusion. Samus is on a planet ZDR, he's checking out the she's checking out a Kiom link of X parasites that possibly could be there, because she needs to obliterate all these X parasites because they're bad. They're bad. They're bad. More info. Check Metroid Fusion, basically. Other than that, but we're talking about this game. So the only thing I can probably say about this, that is a negative, is that it does get frustrating at times. Very frustrating. Especially with the Emmys, which are in the back. At times, like the early ones, not bad. Later ones, they get really, really annoying. They get frustrating. There's this whole, like, this dread element at the beginning where you're like, oh, I don't want to get thing. And then eventually you're just like, okay, just kill me. Let's just start this over again. So it does get a little like that. But other than that, still good. The controls, beautiful, beautiful. The atmosphere, beautiful. Oh my god, like so atmospheric. Oh my god, especially the water areas. The only thing, other than being the Emmys being annoying, is the music. Music is a little soft. Let's just say a little on the soft side. It could be better. It could be better. There's no kind of standout tracks being like I remember that. Like, you have Super Metroid, Brinstar. I remember Brinstar. I remember Norfair. I remember Marinia. I remember, like, you just remember tracks for areas. This one, I don't know, just kind of muddles all the things together, and there's no, like, clear things being like, oh, there's that. Obviously, masterpieces have to have its flaws sometimes, and this is a goddamn masterpiece. It's only on Switch, because it's Nintendo, and it's thing of like, oh, we got to put Nintendo products on Nintendo systems. Good game. And that brings us to the last one, that what I'm currently playing right now, and I'm finishing the ending because it has multiple endings. And it's another game that I heard about a long time, and I eventually wanted to pick it up. And it's a prequel to one of my third game of 2017, and that is NieR Replicant. And I'm not going to say the goddamn version name because it's basically 1.5. Let's just say NieR Replicant 1.5. And what can I say about this game other than it's not a remake and it's not a remaster. It's kind of in between, and that's the 1.5. So this originally came out in North America as just NieR, but it also had a older main character other than the pretty boy that we have in this one. So that's on the PS3, and it's also on 360 back then. This one, it's on Steam, it's on PS4, and I want to say Xbox, but I'm not sure. Could be on Xbox. I'm pretty much like sure it's on Xbox. This one works a lot better. I hear, like, I haven't played the original NieR, but I hear it's a bit clunky and a bit it takes a little getting used to. Well, this one feels like Automata, basically. And if you like NieR Automata, you probably will like this. The story, fucking batshit crazy, like Automata, basically. Even probably a little even more so. There's like really parts where you're like, okay, that happened. But again, we'll go back to one of my favorite ones is the world and the story and the characters. These three characters we have, I guess NieR, even though you can call him anything, I call him James, but mainly I call NieR, Kanye, Kanye, and Emil. They're beloved goofballs, man. They're all of them. All of them have their quirks. All of them have a great trait, multiple traits about them that makes them unique, great characters. That's the thing. Especially Kanye. My God, she has a mouth on her. Let's just say. But Emil's, oh my God, he's so kind, and he could like obliterate a city block, but hey, he has the heart. That's great. And good old Good old NieR main character. He just wants his sister back. That's all. Oh, great. He does anything for it. That's great. Like, there's just so much character in these characters. So much like this game is great, but what brings it down is the amount of side quests in it. Fetch quest. So many fetch quests. Oh my god, fetch quests. It's like, currently I've only beaten this game on ending A and B. I'm currently working on C, and then there's a D, and also to this game, that's new to this game, is an ending E, which I hear is connects you to Automata. Oh yeah, I have to point out the music. The music is great. Absolutely amazing. I think it might actually be better than Automata, actually. Like, I like Automata's music, but holy jeez, this one is wonderfully great. It's great. Other than that, I can say that it is a great game, and I'm probably going to finish it probably within the next few days, hopefully, depending on how much work I have to do on this video and several others. But I want to put it in this game because I've already beaten it, and whatever else I've put in there. And also, I have an ending reaction coming up, not right now, coming up, of ending A and B, and probably C and D and E. Again, I don't know if I'm going to put them all together, or I'm going to have them separately. But anyway, we'll do that. Figure that when I put it. Great game. I totally recommend it. Again, it's on PS4, Steam, and I believe Xbox also. The only thing it's not is on Switch. It's not on Switch. But that, great game. So now, I'm going to split the videos in two. This part one was the games I've played this year, and part two is going to be the games of the year that came out this year. Stay tuned for part two, which will be in the description or on the card if I have room. And I will see you guys in the next one, which will be the games of the year. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.